Okay, so Tanya is the country manager for Binance South Africa, world's largest cryptocurrency exchange by trading volume. Her previous roles have included working as the business manager of Adera, a global provider of liquidity management and international payment solutions for decentralized financial networks, and the managing executive for Fractal Solutions at Straight, where she was tasked with leading a team to research, develop, and implement disruptive technologies focusing on blockchain, distributed ledgers, and crypto assets. Tanya is currently the chairperson of the South African Financial Blockchain Consortium, which presents over 60 of the country's largest financial institutions. She is a faculty member of Singularity University South Africa, an ambassador for the Global Blockchain Business Council, and a member of the South African National Blockchain Alliance. Tanya has been internationally recognized as one of the world's leading women in blockchain technology. Having presented across 4 continents, Tanya is a well-renowned speaker and a thought leader in her area of expertise. Tanya has a certification in blockchain technology from MIT and holds a BA, PDM, and MBA, all from the University of Witwatersrand. In her private capacity, she is involved in a number of women's leadership and mentoring initiatives aimed at professional business women. And then if I can hand over to Tanya. Tanya, please unmute yourself and then you can continue.
Thanks, Renee. Thank you very much for the introduction. It's great to be here, and I'm looking forward to this presentation. So for those participants taking part, just make sure that you can see my slides, as there are some slides that we're going to be going through. All right, so before I kick off, I never want to make the assumption that everybody in the room has a good understanding of what blockchain technology and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are about. So for those people who have heard me present before, if you can just give me 5 minutes to do a quick overview about cryptocurrencies and blockchain, and to make sure that everybody's on the same page, and then we'll get into the crux of the presentation and what we're going to talk about today. So up until recently, we haven't had any way to transfer value over the internet without going through a third party. So for example, if I had 10 Rand and I wanted to give that to Renette, I would either physically have to give it to her where we would be face to face, or alternatively, I'd have to rely on a third party to send that money for us, someone like a bank. And that is because of something called the double spend problem, which means that you can copy 10 Rand if digitally, like we can copy a photo and send a photo from one person to another person. Whereas a bank, if I want to send it, they're essentially recording that information has left my account and entered Renette's account. So a big change happened in the space in that 2009, under the pseudonym of Satoshi Nakamoto, the Bitcoin white paper was written. And essentially what this allowed us to do is that we could transfer value for the first time directly in a peer-to-peer way over the internet. And how this happens is that there's a network of computers, there's about 10,000 of them at the moment, that are running an algorithm to keep this database of who owns what Bitcoins up to date. So you're not relying on any central party to do that for you. And the people who are operating those computers are incentivized through something called mining to keep that network secure, and they themselves are paid with Bitcoins for keeping this entire system safe and operational. And there's a number of advanced security features and cryptography that go into that. So moving on to the next slide, you will see that essentially this was considered the missing piece of the internet. Up until now, we've been able to transfer text, sound, video, images in a peer-to-peer way, but we weren't able to transfer value, and that is supposed to be the big breakthrough with blockchain technology. The other thing is it's supposed to be so disruptive, like many new technologies, because it gets rid, in theory, of many of these intermediaries. And very often, I don't think we realize how many of these intermediaries we're using all the time. Just here in South Africa, if we want to transfer money between ourselves, we would need to go through a bank, as I've explained. For many, many years, I worked at an organization called Straight, which is keeping the record of who owns what shares on the big stock exchanges in the country. So if you want to buy and sell shares, that information is going through Straight. We've got the deeds office keeping track of who owns our houses. And as I say, every time you want to transfer any of this value, we need to go through these intermediaries to record this information and be this trusted legal source of the information. So with Bitcoin coming along, it really gave people food for thought to say, hang on a second, this is a system that is allowing people to transfer value directly to one another. How could we apply this to other industries? And essentially what's happening is that there's many companies out there that are looking at the underlying technology of Bitcoin, which is called blockchain, and they're saying, can we apply this to our businesses? And that's a lot of the developments that are happening in this space.